Yeah, MLB Data Warehouse. Where the spreadsheets flow and the takes get spicy. John, Tim, Doc, let's go. Welcome to the warehouse, stat stack to the ceilings. Exit below, flying launch angles, got a feeling. Tim in the corner with the prospect report. Reading fan graphs, blurbs like it's soft core sport. Junior and double A, Tim's losing.
Change it.
No, it's awesome, man. Dude,
that's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah. It's got a good beat. Look, it's got a good beat. And you got to admit, the lyrics are good. It has good lyrics.
Lyrics are the only thing. I can just tell you those words, though. I can tell you.
You're just going to read it? Like, what is it? Def Jam? You're going to do some Def Jam for us, actor?
I mean, I don't really even have a stake in this because, I mean, my name's not even on there yet. I think it's tough.
Yeah, I like it. Hey.
And for the millennials at home, tough is actually a good thing.
Yes, TUFF.
Yeah,
good thing.
You know, every comment I've gotten on the rap is positive. I've gotten 0 negative comments on the rap, and the negative comments that we have received on the rock music was just it's too loud. That's it, basically. Like that's way too. Every time I get in the car, it's just too loud. So if you're listening, you heard some voices. If you're watching, you already know who's here. On the Twitterverse, but you've got me, your host, Tim Kanak at Fantasy Aceball. We got Doc Eisenhower at Doc Eisenhower on the X, and we've got Owen Hurd, the new addition to the MLB Data Warehouse tree here at Owen_FBB on the X machine. So we got Trace Amigos here, no John. I am the producer, so bad things may happen. And so far I'm 1 for 1, this is the easy one because I can put it up before we actually start the podcast. But we've got tier 1 here talking Dynasty. Basically,
Tim is freezing. Am I crazy?
Yeah, guy looks like Heath Ledger Joker.
Okay, so good. So now we know, because this has happened a couple of times. It's his Floridian internet connection that's just not working. Well, I'll take over as host until we get Tim back. Yeah.
Florida man.
It's good to have you. Owen, is this your first podcast on the Data Warehouse?
It is. I've been on. I know. I've been on. I think I've actually done one with Tim. I don't know if that might have been. No, no, it's not my first. It's my second.
Okay. Yeah, no, we have a good time here. I'm going to text Tim and tell him to leave and come back. Leave and come back. There we go. And yeah, I'm not really ready to host. You know, I'm here drinking moonshine today. Owen, you are able to drink yet or not?
Yeah, so I'm 21 as of about a month ago. So
happy birthday.
I appreciate it. I was thinking about like tweeting something out on my 21st, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to end well. So nothing was posted. Yeah, nothing was posted.
Did you just keep going?
Oh, yeah, I took over as host, and you're still a little robotic. But if you ever do that again, don't worry. I got your back.
Awesome. That's the way. This is the way. Okay, so did you guys do
I introduced Owen, and we talked about how he just turned 21 and now he can drink. And I'm drinking moonshine. This is from Virginia. It's Patrick Henry. Liberty Lightning celebrating 250 years of America.
One second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's go ahead, Doc, and go into this tier. We got tier 1, keep 1, draft 1, cut 1. You got Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, Garrett Crochet.
I'm going to keep Skeens. I don't have Skeens in any league. I have Skeens in no league. And I met him in Indianapolis when he was an Indian. And I have a signed pink hat. My wife, you know, I said, "Are you good? You want me to bring a hat to this game?" And she said, "No, I'll be good." And I knew she wouldn't, but then we got there and God actually let that happen, because then she was like halfway through, "Can I buy a $35 pink hat, please?" She doesn't talk like that. That was my wife. My wife impression was this for some reason. I don't know what that is. But I got her a hat, and then Paul Skeens at the end of the day does like a 6 innings, as longest he ever went, and then the game goes like into 13 innings. He's exhausted. And we're the last people lined up, but he signed. He shook hands and talked to anyone who wanted to stick around. Anyway, I'm keeping Paul Skeens, and I need to get him in a dynasty league. I hate this, but like he's gonna have to get TJ. I think. You know what I mean? Like I think
someday.
You know what I mean though. Like I'm not gonna be able to get him until he has TJ when he's like 29 or 30.
Yeah, well, the other two guys did here, but yeah, that's the only time you'll get value on him again. Like I just got Garrett Cole for the first time. Like I've had like never ever had shares of Garrett Cole, and then this year I actually have shares of Garrett Cole for like the first time ever. So
I'm keeping Paul Skeens, drafting Scooble, and I'm cutting Crochet. Yeah, and the reason you keep Skeens is the age, and he's even more of a Patriot. Scooble seems like he's a Patriot, but Skeens is the ultra Giga Chad Patriot.
All right, Owen, what are you doing with these three? Which one would you keep? Which one would you draft for 1 year? And which one would you throw into the wood chipper?
Well, first of all, cheers. We got the Jefferson, Indiana national champions, 2025. Fernando Mendoza, John Hancock on the bottom there. Signature bottle right there, just for decoration for now. I'm probably agreeing with Doc. I feel like I was talking about this with Eric Cross a few weeks back. Like, I genuinely think Skeens is just going to be this like 200 strikeout, like sub 2.7 ERA guy for the next 4 or 5 years. He's definitely my keep of
minimum
that.
4 or 5 years.
Minimum. And, I think it's crazy that like, you throw out those numbers for Skeens, but it's like Scoop Ball, in my opinion, is still the best pitcher in baseball. So he's going to be my draft. And I'm a Red Sox fan. I love Garrett Crochet. I just feel like there's definitely the largest gap between him and any of Scoop Ball or Skeens versus Scoop Ball and Skeens, in my opinion, that are just a complete toss up. Go either way.
Clean sweep here. I'm right there with you guys. It's unfortunate for Crochet, but he's kind of like the third wheel here between these three guys, right?
It's like if you've read those like Diary of a Wimpy Kid books where it's like Greg Heffley goes with like Rowley, and they both take this one girl, and the girl is like all over Rowley before they're even at the dance. That's like a total like Gen Z thing, but best analogy I can come up with.
I'm sure that book is tough though.
I mean, I feel like every like 4th, 5th grader out there has got to think so. Every like 10, 11-year-old that just enjoys that like kid humor that their parents are like trying to shut them up about, or those words they don't want them to know.
It's lit.
I will tell you, I'm reading my toddler's Way of the Warrior Kid right now by Jocko Willink. So that's about as far as I go with kid books over the last 25 years. So tier 2, we got keep 2, draft 2, cut 4, big tier. We're gonna run into a lot of big tiers here, guys, because starting pitchers, as Scott White has so infamously coined like years and years ago, we got globs. There's just globs all over the place with starting pitchers. So after our top tier, we got a nice glob of other aces here. So Logan Gilbert, number 4, Yoshi Yamamoto 5, Chase Burns 6, Cole Reagan 7, Brian Wu 8, Nolan McLean 9, Emmett Sheehan 10, and Yuri Perez 11. So keep 2, draft 2, cut 4, Doc.
This is difficult. I'm gonna keep Yuri for sure. And it's tricky after that. It almost comes down to who you like, because anyone can implode at any moment.
Does that mean you like Yuri Perez more than Chase Burns?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, it's okay. You don't have to agree with that.
Cool.
But he's the same age, but already has more pro experience, and he's 6'9", so that helps. I just think he's solid. Man, Sheehan came back out of nowhere, but I just don't think I can trust him the same way as these other guys. Okay, let me see if I can go through this a little faster for you. I'm gonna go ahead and keep Yuri and keep Cole Reagans. I just think that Reagans is kind of gone. It's either he's gone through the injury bumps and he's ready to get rolling, like in his prime here at 28, or it's going to end and then he's going to not come back till he's like 32.
Two Tommy Johns already, dude. No one has ever come back from 3 Tommy Johns.
It was not a second Tommy John, and you should know this. It was the second one was like a patch up. It was just like a botched first one, so they kind of went back in. They're like, oh, let's fix it up again. So it's not exactly a second TJ that he had. So that's not going to be popular. That's kind of me. That's
why I haven't gotten snipped yet, dude. I don't want to go in 2 times. I like second vasectomy. That sounds like a nightmare.
That is good. That is a good one. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's hard to lose here. So I'll draft Gilbert and I'll draft Yamamoto. I mean, I don't even know, man. Like this, like everyone here is pretty solid. Honestly, I think I've seen you be really high on Sheehan. I'll let you get to that later, but I think I probably agree. We'll see what I would do if I actually had like 4 hours on the clock. Because in a dynasty, I do like Sheehan a lot. I think it's hard to deny what he's looking like. Same with Chase Burns and his age, but yeah, I'll keep Yuri and Reagans and draft Gilbert and Yams. Cut the rest reluctantly.
All right. Owen, what are you doing here with this group?
Okay, so I'm just going to get the cuts out of the way first. I feel like that's going to be easier for me. Brian Wu can go. Like, I like Brian Wu, but like the 2-pitch guy with a lengthy injury track record is a pretty easy cut for me. Next, I'm cutting Sheehan. I think the upside is really interesting. At the same time, I don't feel like he's in the same tier as every other guy in this glob, as we call it. Nolan McLean is also gone, not just because of his stinker in the WBC the other day. And then the fourth is where it gets tough. Fourth, what am I doing here?
There's been some weird stuff about Chase Burns coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go there. I don't know if I can go there yet. Like, I'll go Yamamoto, and I say that in part just because like the innings workload from last year scares me a little bit, and he's also like very small for a pitcher. So my two that I'd keep would be Yuri and then Logan Gilbert, and then I would draft. I think Cole Reagans is an easy buy for me at cost, so he's another guy that I would draft, and then I would draft Chase Burns. So, keep Gilbert, Yuri, draft Burns and Reagans, and then cut the rest.
Interesting. So for me, I'm definitely keeping Chase Burns. Chase Burns, I just think has the best stuff of anyone in this group, and he might have like the second or third best stuff in all of baseball. So I'm a big Chase Burns guy. I think he's going to be fire this year. He's going to get a ton of strikeouts, just ridiculous swinging strike rates. So 2 maybe 80 grade pitches. So I'm a big Chase Burns guy. I think that he's just buried by Paul Skeens. I feel like if Paul Skeens didn't exist, Chase Burns would be like, everyone would think of him as like a top 10 starter or whatever. But I feel like he just kind of gets buried, number one, because Skeens exists and is a thing. And number two, because he's playing in Great American Small Park, which is not good. But
yeah, that's a big element for me.
I think you could also say that for Yuri, though. It's like I feel like without Skeens, people would still be looking back at how good Yuri was as a 19-year-old in the majors.
Latin
Skeens. I'll say it. Like, in my opinion, like Yuri crawled so Skeens could get the hype he did.
Yeah. So keeping Burns, the next keep is tough because, Logan Gilbert, you say, 29, but pitchers, if they're really good, can be good until they're in their late 30s. So it does happen. It's not like, it's not like he's toast in 3 years, like as if he was a hitter. It's like he might still be good for 6 or 7 years. So that's what makes Logan Gilbert a little bit tougher. But I think that I come down to McLean and Yuri with this one. So McLean obviously has like a million different pitches. Yuri's got the stuff, though. Yuri's got the ballpark. Oof, it's a close one. McLean is a little safer because he hasn't been hurt yet, right? Yuri hit Tommy John, or you reverse
You could do it the other way.
Yeah, you flip it the other way, and you said, no, Yuri just got the TJ out of the way. McLean still has his to come.
How crazy is that? Yuri is a year younger than McLean.
That's
nuts.
This one's really tough for me, and I actually have McLean ranked above Yuri here, but I think I'm going to go Yuri. You guys might have convinced me. I think I'm going Yuri here as my other keeper. Now, for my 2 drafts, I'm going to definitely draft Logan Gilbert. That's like the easiest one ever. The next draft, I'm like, okay, Yamamoto or Reagans, pretty much. Like, there's an argument for Wu, just because he pitched the most innings. I think he pitched the most innings out of these guys last year. And Yamamoto is definitely going to regress from an inning standpoint. There's like no doubt about that. Sheehan, I love. Like I mentioned him, I really love him, but yeah, like out of all these guys, like you're cutting him. I think he deserves to be in the tier. Maybe you guys don't. I think he deserves to be in the tier, but someone's got to be the worst guy in the tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like when we look at the next tier. I think he's better than all those guys, and he would have been the top guy. So I think he deserves to be in this tier. But I'm gonna draft between these guys, Reagan's, and just go for it and be like, okay, Reagan's has the best stuff out of all these guys. He's got a great ballpark. He's just got to stay on the field. So you have the best potential outcome with Reagan's out of all these guys. And like there's like Yamamoto's going to pitch less innings because of how many innings he pitched in the playoffs. Reagan's should pitch more innings because he only had like 68 or something last year. So it's like, okay. So hopefully Reagan's gets 160, and I think you're going to get a killer amount of strikeouts if he does. Any closing words on this tier before we go to the next?
I got a closing word right here, man. I went to go watch one of my MLB apps, see what's going on with this KC game, and it looks like the Cardinals McGreevy whooped the Mets earlier. But this is the picture that MLB.com chose for the game.
Yeah.
Oh, and you like that? Why did they just choose it?
Hold on. So
that's him just flexing on the Mets.
While we're on the topic, this is my OG. This is my OG Dynasty, the first one that I've ever been in. Chaim Bloom's second lobotomy. It's been named that for about 3 years now. I mean, the guy running it definitely not. Like, look at that. We got Wilson Contreras, Kurtz, Ozzie Albies, Pena, Torkelson, Adames, Alec Burleson. I mean, this is just an unfair team. And then pitching-wise, Bradish, Bubic, Crochet, Hunter Green, Rip, Luzardo, Pepiot, Chris Sanchez.
Yeah.
But the name will stay. The name will stay.
He might watch this. He's my boy now, so we'll see. Tier 3A. I had to cut Tier 3 because, like I said, we've got so many globs. I had to cut this into 2 groups, even though I think that they're both smashed into the same tier. I had to still cut it into 2 groups because it would have just been way too many names. So Tier 3A, we're going to keep 2 draft 2, cut 5.
So
Kyle Bradish.
Sorry, I'm going to start this off spicy if I can. There's 4 guys on this list just at first glance without any further contemplation that are better than Emmett Sheehan.
Oh, come on.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what you say. We're going to go to you first on this one, Owen. So here's our group. Kyle Bradish, Christopher Sanchez, Jacob Mizurowski, Hunter Green, Shohei Ohtani, George Kirby, Jesus Luzardo, Hunter Brown, and Trey Yesavage. All right, Owen. Who's better than Emmett Sheehan here?
Okay, so I'll start off. I'll name the guys that are better. Hunter Brown is better than Emmett Sheehan. Jesus Luzardo, better than Emmett Sheehan. Christopher Sanchez, absolutely better than Emmett Sheehan. A healthy Hunter Green, better than Emmett Sheehan. And, okay, maybe hot take. George Kirby, better than Emmett Sheehan. That's 5 right there. Those 5 comfortably. All
right. Hunter Green, I'll give you because he was.
I'll give him Sanchez and Brown.
Sanchez.
I mean, this is not a hot take at all. Mizurowski could be better. Is he better right now? No, but he could be. Bradish, I think, is also a TBD. I think Yesavage, people have overhyped a lot, and he's going to get an innings limit, so maybe that. But, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say that, like, all of these guys other than Ohtani could be better a year from now than Emmett Sheehan. But those 4 right now for me are currently better than Emmett Sheehan.
Hunter Green, I give you. Christopher Sanchez has been better, but will he be better? Is the question.
Yes.
I think Sheehan has potential to be better, and he's 3 years younger. So that's my take on it.
So my opinion is
Hunter Brown is overrated. George Kirby, there's an argument for it. George Kirby had a down year. So, like, I give you that Kirby could definitely bounce back and be better, and he's going to pitch a ton of innings. And
what about Jesus Luzardo? Jesus Luzardo is also better than Emmett Sheehan.
Luzardo is a little riskier in my mind. Sheehan has been very good when he pitches.
Luzardo is better. If you take away like his 2 YIP starts, he has like an ERA of like just over 3. He is elite. He is elite that like people ignore it because of like 2 bad starts he had in the middle of the year.
Oh, but he had bad seasons. He had like full-on bad years.
I mean, Luzardo, like right now, in my opinion, he's probably my dark horse Cy Young pick.
Okay, well, now I want to hear your keep 2 draft.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the 2 that I'm keeping Hunter Brown and I'm keeping Christopher Sanchez. And then
How could you not keep
drafting,
a Cy Young candidate?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Drafting Jesus Luzardo. I think he's way too cheap at cost. I would take him very comfortably right now as a low end one. I have done that in a couple leagues. And then I'm also drafting George Kirby. And then for full context, like pre-injury, Hunter Green might have changed this for me, but the other 5 I'm cutting. So my two keeps are Brown and Sanchez, and then my 2 drafts are Luzardo and Kirby.
All righty. What are you doing, Doc?
I mean, I agree with the keeps, baby. We're going to do Christopher Sanchez, who's just he's been so underrated. I mean, the fact that he's not in that first tier, still a little underrated. I think he's up there. I think he's frankly, and you could call him the 4th dog in the first tier, man. Like he's so good. He's so good.
He's a better Logan Webb right now. He doesn't have the same stuff as those other guys.
Are you saying Logan Webb isn't better than Emmett Sheehan then? I just gotta clarify this.
Depends.
Webb is too low. Webb should be. I just realized we don't even have Webb up here yet.
Yeah,
if you're in a dynasty league, that is a good. That's where I'm at. I think Sheehan is better than Logan Webb for future value in a dynasty league.
But presently in Dynasty, would you rank Emmett Sheehan above Logan Webb?
Yes, I do.
No.
These are his ranks, so yeah, you can tell that that's the situation.
Trey Savage on this list is like, what is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? I just gotta say that.
So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Sanchez. Anyway, Sanchez. I believe his changeup is like one of, if not the best pitch in baseball. Like it's graded out of control, and everything else is ticking up. So it's like not. I mean, you just don't like changeups. It sounds like, which is fine. But I'm just gonna not have that opinion. So I'm gonna keep Sanchez and reap the benefits. And Hunter Brown, I'm gonna keep him. I think it's funny. Yeah, it feels like he's a little younger than 27, but that's still plenty young in baseball as a pitcher. So, yeah, very comfortable with those 2. Drafting Bradish, hoping he can just stay healthy, man. If he can just stay healthy, the stuff is filthy. He's a frontline ace. I don't really know what to do with that last slot here. Who is George Kirby anymore? I don't even know, but I'll probably go with him here as my pick. Mizorowski's like an interesting one, but Kirby just feels like the safest option remaining.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I would keep Kirby. So I would actually keep George Kirby because he's the safest of all of these guys. He's going to pitch a bunch of innings. I feel like he's the type of guy who can go a long time without getting Tommy John because he's like not always like maxing out on every pitch and he's more location based. So kind of like Christopher Sanchez, probably the same thing. He probably is a little safer because he's not maxing out all the time. So I think George Kirby, even though I think Hunter Green is the best pitcher on this whole list, the guy just has so many injury problems that even when he comes back, like he's getting bone spurs removed from his elbow. He still may need Tommy John again, a second one in a few years because he always is like maxing out and that he needs to be as good as he is. He has to, like, that's just his thing. So Kirby is going to be a keep for me. And then my other keep is going to be, I'm kind of tight here, but I think I'm going to go Mizorowski as the other keep. I'm just going to play off on the upside, hope that at age 24, the command keeps getting better and better as it did last year and the year before. He keeps making strides forward in the command. And then I'm going to definitely draft Bradish because I'm a huge Bradish guy. So I'm definitely drafting Bradish, and I'm going to be drafting Christopher Sanchez. So those would be my 2 drafts here. Ohtani just gets dinged because he's only going to pitch every 6 days. Like, look how good he is F-score wise. Like, he's like, he might be up with those top 3 guys if he actually was like an every 5th day starter. If like let's say Ohtani didn't hit and he was only a pitcher, like then he might be a top 5 starting pitcher if that's all he did and that's all he focused on. But yeah, like talking about Sheehan with this group. So Sheehan, this is why I like Sheehan so much. K-minus walk rate in his career is almost 20%. He had an under 1 whip last year. Sierras are off the charts. He was always good in the minors. People think he has bad command when he doesn't. So he gets underrated because for whatever reason, there's something about him not having good command when he does have good command. And the stuff plus on the fastball only a 99. I don't really care. Like if you watch his fastball, it's actually really good. It's something is wrong with the stuff plus on his fastball. It's not reading it right. I think that Sheehan is a super underrated pitcher, and I've thought that since back when he was a prospect. So I'm just super high on Sheehan. Can he get dinged because he's on the Dodgers and he's only going to pitch every 6 turns? Yeah, maybe. But Snell and Glasnow are so injury prone. Yamamoto's going to not pitch as many innings that, like, he had 73 innings pitched last year. That's Sheehan in the majors, and then 19 in the minors. That's 94 innings pitched last year. He could easily pitch 140 innings, 150 innings, which is what anyone else is going to pitch, right? Like, no one pitches 200 innings anymore unless you're Logan Webb. So that's what I'm doing. Any closing comments on this tier?
Yes, I actually do have one. So with a K to walk rate of 21%, Jesus Luzardo, FIP of 2.9, left on base rate sub 70%, like under 0.8 home runs per 9. I think we're underrating Jesus Luzardo a lot here. That's just one of my closing takeaways from this segment.
Okay, Jesus Luzardo in 2024, 13.1 K minus walk, and only.
And then 2025 though. Sorry, that's what I was referencing.
Yeah, no, I know, but this is my point. 2024 he was not good. 2021 he was not good. So he's a bit of a roller coaster. There's a little Aaron Nola streak here. And Philadelphia ain't a great place to pitch, so that does scare me a little bit. I like Luzardo from I would like Luzardo a lot in like a daily league, like DFS. Give me Luzardo in DFS. But he scares me because he's had bad seasons. Not really bad, but like below average seasons, I guess, is what I would call it. Like there's a little bit of a Robbie Ray in there somewhere.
My one thing I would just say in defense of that is like his swing strike rate has been really like remarkably consistent. We're talking like 13.5 to 14.1% in the past 4 years. So I think if anything, like he is more of a unfortunate victim of BABIP and all these other analytical numbers and bad batted ball luck than a roller coaster of a starter.
Yeah, fair argument. Tier 3B. So all these guys would literally be in the same tier. There he is. Look at that. Logan Webb. All right, so we got Logan Webb on top here. Dylan Cease. Hey, it's the same tier. It's just a huge tier. Logan Webb, Dylan Cease, Joe Ryan. And these guys are older, which is going to bump them down a little bit. All right. Logan Webb, Dylan Cease, Joe Ryan, Freddie Peralta, Thomas White, Spencer Schwellenbach, Max Fried, Robbie Snelling, Cam Schlittler, and Bubba Chandler. So we got some young guys and some old guys. Interesting tier and an injured guy. Interesting tier here. Keep 2, draft 2, cut 6. Doc.
I'm keeping Logan Webb. 29 is not old, especially for a pitcher. Man, if you're like an elite pitcher, especially a guy like Webb who doesn't rely on velo, yeah, I mean, I think he could play into his mid to late 30s pretty well. I mean, it's never easy to go to your late 30s, but he's a good candidate as any. So he's an easy keep for me. The next one is tougher because there's a lot of great young talent here, but I'm going with my number one out of White, Snelling, and Schlittler and Chandler. I think that Thomas White actually has the highest upside as like what he has as a big lefty. It's just he's got the velo, he's got the off speed. He's just yeah. I think all 3 of his pitches are plus pitches potentially. So, and he could easily add more given the fact he's 21 years old. Great organization, needs to stay healthy. Just tweaked his oblique, which is not devastating. I almost said devastating, which is definitely annoying though. So I will keep those two different ends of the spectrum. I will draft Max Fried because that's boring and effective, kind of like Logan Webb. I don't like going the boring in Yankee Stadium in the AL East versus the San Francisco deal that Webb gets, but I'll still draft him. This is where it gets interesting after that. I just never really get excited about Ryan. I never really know who Cease is. I like when Cease is bad and then like you can buy him at value, like again mid-season maybe, but yeah, draft day going over these guys, I can't do that. Schlittler is a candidate. And I think he's my guy. I think he's who I'm going to go with. I know a lot of people are calling for regression with him. Maybe they're right. But I'm here to say they're wrong. His name's Cam. Don't call me Hitler, Schlittler, and just got demonetized probably. You can't say Schlittler.
John's gonna spank you.
There you go.
Rip MLB data warehouse 3/12/2026.
I mean, the kid came up and it's not easy for a kid to come up. I know it's easier for pitchers than hitters to make it big off the, right off the draw. But I mean, what Connolly early did, what Cam Schlittler did, it's impressive. And I think it speaks to their upside after they get some more seasoning. So it's a little bit riskier drafting him instead of keeping him, but I'm going to do it.
All right, Owen.
All right. So I feel like this is probably like kind of the easiest tier for me of the ones we've gotten through. There's not really like three that I'm kind of debating for two. So my two keeps here, I'm keeping Logan Webb and Freddie Peralta. And then drafting here, I will draft Dylan Cease. And then I'm not the biggest fan, admittedly, but I will probably draft Max Fried a bit too, assuming the age pushes him down a little bit. I'm kind of conflicted on that one because Max Fried does a lot of things well for fantasy, but especially with like a K per 9 under 8, I'm a little bit concerned how his profile will age the next 2-3 years, but he's probably still a guy that I'll draft, assuming he slides a little bit. So my two keeps are Webb and Peralta, and then I'll draft Cease and Fried and then cut the rest.
Interesting. So I'm with keeper wise. I'm with Doc here. I'm going to keep Logan Webb and I'm going to keep Thomas White. Thomas White's awesome. Dude's going to be a baller. The guy it doesn't matter how many people he walks. He's just going to strike out so many more guys that it doesn't even matter. So Thomas White and Logan Webb are the keepers for me. Draft wise is where it gets tough. So like, keeping wise, my next keeper would be Snelling. I love Robbie Snelling too. I think he's a beast. He's been awesome this spring, but can't do 3, so 2 it is. But draft wise, like I'm like, okay, I saw Freddie Peralta. He looked phenomenal when I saw him. He looks happy to be met. I feel like that's like his groove. So I'm kind of on the fence about him. Joe Ryan. With the back thing, this is what scares me, man. Like lower back things, like we saw how that affected Kershaw's like entire 30s. Like his whole back half of his career was affected from lower back. And it's like, okay, is Joe Ryan going to like fall into that? We never know. Lower back things tend to kind of like come back, not to make a pun. So I'm going to draft Dylan Cease and I'm going to draft Fastball Freddie and kind of skip Joe Ryan, even though Joe Ryan has the better F scores of all these guys. Like that lower back just scares me for this year. All right. Any final words on these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think like this one's interesting because like you have a lot of like really like solidly established, like at their best, like low to mid end 1 guys. And then you have these kind of emerging aces who, I mean, I think in White's case, I agree with you. Like he probably has, I think like peak years, he could very well be up there with like a Dylan Cease with better command, or like, like kind of the past couple of years of Freddie Peralta. But I just kind of, for me, it just kind of comes down to like what these guys could be versus like what, Freddie Peralta and Logan Webb are like right now.
Yeah. Fair argument.
Especially with like, being 29 and 30, maybe I think we still get 2 to 3 really good years out of these guys.
Yeah, pretty fair argument there.
Oh, it's a sexy looking tier. I'm already getting around.
This is a fun tier. This is a fun tier.
Yeah, tier 4. We got keep 2, draft 2, cut 6, 10-man tier. Brandon Woodruff, Peyton Tolley, Mackenzie Gore, Jacob deGrom, Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, Zach Wheeler, Garrett Cole, Connolly Early, Trevor Rogers. All right, Owen, you're first. Let's see it.
Okay. So I mean, I'm gonna the first 3 stand out for me. I'm gonna go like easiest to hardest. The easiest cuts for me of this list are Tolley, Early, and Woodruff. Like even with some of the older injury guys, I just can't. I mean, those 3 guys for me, I'm not taking them above some of the other guys on this list. So those 3 I'm cutting. And then I'll also cut. What else we got? This might be a hot take, but I would let Zach Wheeler go, especially with the thoracic outlet and stating that he's going to retire after his contract ends. Zach Wheeler would be my fourth that I would cut. That's really good.
When you draft someone in these questions, I asked this before. When you draft someone, like, you can't keep them the next year, so take 2027 out of your brain.
Yeah, if you draft them,
you can't.
You cannot like re-sign them basically.
Okay,
it's
that's
like,
fair.
You have to assume that someone else is going to get them or whatever.
My mind is like Dynasty, so I appreciate that. I'm like thinking like next 2 to 3 year just window automatically. So I've got four cuts right now. Okay, yeah. My two that I'm keeping, I'm probably going to keep. Give me Trevor Rogers and Mackenzie Gore, and then my two that I'll draft. Give me Sale and DeGrom, and I'll let the others go.
Nice. I like that. All right, Doc, what are you doing?
I'm going to keep Connolly early because I think he's better than everyone else thinks he is. I'm going to keep Trevor Rogers. I think the ace breakout kind of happened and it's going to continue. I actually already thought that, and then Scott White wrote something, was talking about, so I honestly have no idea. I forget exactly what he said. It was he was talking about it during a podcast that I was drafting on, so like I wasn't fully listening. All I heard was confirmation bias, like something that he did essentially establish that his velo bump is most likely legit and not forced. It was something about drive line, and that is what I call professional analysis by Doc. But yeah, I just think that honestly, all of a sudden Orioles have a really strong 1-2 punch there if Rogers can stay healthy and if Rogers can stay healthy. And both are still young. I mean, Early's very young, but Rogers, 28's a baby for a starting pitcher. Drafting Chris Sale very easily here, actually. I just think his talent hasn't really dissipated. A lot of his injuries over the years have been freaky, like falling off motorcycles and getting hit with comebackers. So I don't really know if he's injury prone per se. But luck is a thing. So I will draft him.
Yeah.
Then I'm tempted. Like, I mean, Owen has said here a couple times, I'll draft this guy based on where I'd get him for value. Like that's maybe where I would step in for like Cole, because I do like that I can get Cole really late right now. I just think he's going to be back at the very latest, like June 1st, which is fine where he's going.
He's going to be back in April, dude.
Yeah. My thing in general is I just have like too much post TJ PTSD from last year, and like trusting guys that like realistically I never should have had half as much confidence in. So yes. Well, McClanahan, and then is it like Sandy Alcantara?
Strider, he's right there.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I'm also like I think Spencer Strider has gotten very overrated very quickly. Quite honestly, he's a guy like if his fastball isn't like close to like sitting triple digits, I just don't think he's that good of a pitcher. Like maybe that's a hot take, but I just don't think the arsenal's deep enough. I think the delivery, in my opinion, is super high effort. I just think like if he's not a guy who's, and I just feel like he's closer to an elite reliever than he is like ever being the 24 or was it 23, 24 Strider that we saw.
My second guy I'm drafting will be let's just say that it's not like if we're talking about getting per cost or where their value is, probably Cole, but I think for the sake of this exercise, if it's like I have to just have Zach Wheeler or Garrett Cole this year at the same value in a vacuum, that's a great use. I feel like in a vacuum is used way too often, and that is a good use of in a vacuum. Just in this, if we're out in outer space, you get one guy this year, Zach Wheeler, Garrett Cole. Say Zach Wheeler. Actually, it's funny just because he might be retiring very likely after this season. I think he's going to give it his all. I think he's going to give us one last go. So that was keeping Rogers, drafting Sale, and drafting Wheeler.
Suck. Come on,
You talk
Spaceballs.
about yourself like that.
Wait, you said it in a vacuum. You reminded me of the giant vacuum from Spaceballs for whatever reason. That's what popped into my mind.
Man, that was like at least 30 years before Owen was born, man.
Spaceballs is a classic. Everyone has to see that movie. That's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to watch that. So, all right, on this one, this one's actually kind of tough for me, because I'm gonna keep Tolley, which people think Tolley. I keep hearing on like podcasts that are not ours. Oh, he's got a really good fastball, and what else? And it's like this guy throws 6 pitches, and he actually does have other good pitches. His changeup is good. I give right now his changeup a 50 with a potential 60 on it, and his slider and his cutter are also good pitches. Like I think that right now they're average, but I think that they could become above average pitches. So I actually think that Tolley's perfectly fine. And people who are doubting him are crazy because this guy has elite fastball changeup combination with other developing pitches. He's huge. This guy is built like a freaking house, 6'6", 250 pounds. That this guy could actually last in a fight with Owen. That's how big this guy is. So
No, he would beat me. I would not have a shot.
So Tolley, I like. I think he's a bit underrated because people just think fastball, and I think he's much more than that. I think he's
he threw that
crafty,
fastball like what,
so.
70% of the time in his MLB debut. I think that's what
small sample size though. So it's like, of course, he's just coming up and trying to, it's his first time in the show. He's gonna have some fun, just throw some meatballs or whatever, right? So we got a number 2. I'm between Mackenzie Gore and Connolly Early. So I just talked to John on the redraft episode, and I'm like, I like Mackenzie Gore going to Texas a lot because this guy has been like, for whatever reason, he's like the oldest pitcher on his team ever since like when he was on the Padres. It's like, how does this happen? This guy is like growing up as like the oldest guy on his team. It's like now he's gonna have Nate Eovaldi and he's gonna have Jacob deGrom to kind of like guide him along in his development. He's not gonna be the number 1 guy. He's gonna be like the number 3, number 4 guy in this rotation. So it's gonna make him more comfortable. I think that's going to actually allow him to have a more steady season. Like you could see he was getting like visibly PO'd with the Nationals when he was pitching there. Like he wanted to be competitive. Seems like a fiery guy. So I think Mackenzie Gore is going to have some positive strides in his development. Also better pitching park for him too, going to Texas. But I'm going to go with Early. I love Early, just like Doc. I think Early is super underrated. I think this kid's going to be a beast. The Red Sox just have a embarrassment of riches at pitching right now. So they don't even need. They're like Early is having like maybe the best spring of any pitcher in all of baseball, and he might not make the team. Like what? like what is that? Like really, Oviedo? Like Early has been like amazing this spring. Tons of good pitches. Fastball got better. Like this guy could have 5 or 6 plus pitches. Like this guy could develop into your next Christopher Sanchez, maybe. Like I love Connolly Early. So and not to mention Connolly Early is such a Boston name. Like Connolly, like, I don't know. But anyway, those are my keeps. My drafts are going to be, don't overthink this one, Tim. Jacob deGrom and Chris Sale. Jacob deGrom is a top 5 pitcher again, guys. I have Jacob deGrom as my number 5 pitcher for redraft. So I think he's going to be a stud again, just like last year. Chris Sale, also phenomenal. Both those guys, they're older. Yeah. But they did have Tommy Johns recently. And like we said earlier, some of these stud pitchers can go to 39, 40 and be okay. I mean, Verlander is 43, whatever. Scherzer 44. So, I mean, like, they're not as good as they were when they hit like 41. But based on that, if we look at that, you see deGrom and Sale probably have a couple of good years still left in them. Anything else on this tier, guys? No action. All righty. Let's bring up tier number 5. I was not ready. There it is. Tier 5. Draft 2 cut. Yeah, it's huge. Keep 2, draft 3, cut 7. So we got Ryan Pepio, Nick Lodolo, Tatsuya Imai, Jonah Tong, Blake Snell, Shane Bieber, Parker Messick, Cade Horton, Cade Anderson, Jack Flaherty, Framber Valdez, and Andrew Painter. This is Owen.
Ooh. Well, first of all, just get out of the way. Hashtag never Snell. So Blake Snell is getting cut. Shout out Frank Stample for that one. Let's see. So my first 2 that I'm going to keep here, Nick Lodolo is the first. I think Nick Lodolo is super underrated. I mean, I just feel like there's such a lousy old narrative out there that he's like an upper threes ERA guy with like that's not good for ratios, but his ratios are actually sneaky good. His command is elite, and his K rate was like close to 80th percentile last year, which was a great jump for him, especially for a lefty. I get like he's not in a really good park, but I think Nick Lodolo is a guy that I would draft in every single league as my number 2 and be very happy about it. So Nick Lodolo would be my first keep there. My second one, I'm going to go, I kind of go back and forth between Painter and Anderson. I'm going to go Andrew Painter. I think the upside is a tad higher. And I think the kind of fatigue around him is just, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous. Coming off Tommy John, like the stuff was still there. We saw it kind of get close to back to where it was. And once we get the command all the way back, I think Andrew Painter, in my opinion, like has, a ceiling that you can put like right up there with some of the better arms in the game and the true number ones and some of the MLB rotation. So those are my 2 keeps. Draft wise, I love Framber Valdez in Detroit. I think that's a really good fit for his profile. So he's going to be my first draft. I think Jack Flaherty is really good value where he's going. So he's probably my second there. And then my third, Imai and Horton is interesting. Like on one hand, you have Imai, who's like, there's, we've seen kind of how these MPB guys, they can take some time to kind of adapt when they come over. I'm actually going to go give me Ryan Pepiot as my third draft. I think going back, getting out of that minor league park is going to be great for him. He feels like one of those kind of most obvious like post hype sleeper guys where it's like he's been around the league a while, but like I don't think he's hit his ceiling yet. So those are my two. My 2 keeps are Lodolo and Painter, and then my 3 drafts are Pepiot, Flaherty, and Valdez, and then I will cut the rest.
All right, Doc, what are you doing?
Oh, I know Tim's loving that Flaherty hype, man. Oh yeah, Owen's in that league too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, we got a 30-teamer, and Tim's just been trying to sell Flaherty all off season, and now you have him still. Did you trade him?
No, I still have him.
Oh,
and I'm not gonna trade him until the deadline because I think my team is actually pretty solid. It just sucks. I'm in a division with your freaking super tank team. So
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to have to, gloat, and I was good.
Yeah, well, I just got in that league. I haven't had as much time to build up as you. I think you said you've only been in for what? This is your 3rd year or something in it?
Yeah, like I picked up the team out of it was dead last. I had a dead prospect on it. It was pretty tragic situation, but it was
Oscar Tavares.
No, it was he died of cancer. He was like another Luis Ortiz from Baltimore Orioles. You know this guy?
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why you're laughing.
You're laughing. That's why.
Everyone's laughing at cancer on this podcast. I think we also mentioned Adolf Hitler.
We're the official podcast of Daniel Egan and Narrative, so I don't think that would.
Hashtag Hitler cancer. I'm gonna honestly a lot of everyone's laughing now. Listener, are you laughing? Are you satisfied? Well, my keeper.
They don't understand the things they say on Twitter.
There you go. Andrew Painter. Yeah, I agreed with too much of what Owen said there, man. We gotta have more fire. We got more disagreements. But Painter, yeah, it's like it's really in startups and in redrafts. It's like Painter is cheaper than
here. Let's we can have a ton of disagreements. I'm gonna shamelessly self-promote the Dynasty mock that we just wrapped up. Doc's pitching staff absolutely disgusts me. It's the most ridiculous, like one of the worst fantasy staffs I've ever seen in a 14-teamer. It's like I'm gonna run down the list here.
Whoa.
Hijack. Yeah. Okay. You were saying we wanted to disagree more. We'll disagree a bit more. Like Noah Cameron, what a great spring he's having. The velo looks way down. Like Garrett Cole coming off Tommy John. Trevor Rogers and Michael King are genuinely the only 2 guys on your staff that I like. Shane Smith, kind of. Justin Steele, 2-pitch dude, overrated. Ryan Weathers will not give you 130 innings. And that's literally the extent of your pitching staff. I mean,
well, your league was broken, and I got autoed like 5 times, so we got that going for me.
Heart ripped out. Doc's
Oh.
heart ripped out.
But no, I
Well,
think
I mean, you saying Hitler on this pod sure helps with that. Maybe they knew. Maybe they knew.
listen, I'm gonna say it again. Hitler. So I'm a very disagreeable person. Man, you can't rip on that staff. That's I got.
I can't rip on this staff. This is not a good fantasy staff.
Sexy.
All right, who are you drafting, Doc? Who are you drafting?
Okay, I'm keeping Andrew Painter because he's extremely discounted and everyone's out because this 23-year-old's all washed up. And then I'm gonna keep. It's kind of hard to pick my second keep here, but I'm gonna go with Pepiot. I think he's underrated. Again, I think that the 27 to 30-year-old breakout is a real thing. Like especially if they've already had a TJ, or if they've never had, I don't know. Just like I think that's like your launching pad where you see a lot of guys like Justin Steele broke out. I think at 28. You see it happen a lot. It's just hard pitching in the major leagues, and now Pepiot going back to out of a steamy ballpark into more of a pitcher's ballpark again will help a lot. Drafting, I will hate to draft Framber, but I got to do it. He's too steady. Gosh, he's just such an unlikable dude, Lodolo, I'll draft him because I do also agree he's underrated. Goodness, I'm going to go Cade Horton. I actually think probably Cade Horton is a little underrated as well. We'll see. He could be a doc guy just by like one of those gets the job done, doesn't have the flashiest stuff, but that was like he really put up some great numbers.
You're drafting Cade Horton?
Really? Why is that weird to you?
I don't know.
That is weird to me. That's weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, he's 24 years old, and he was even younger last year. He's one of those guys. He actually was younger the year before, and he gave us what were the final numbers? Like a 2 ERA, right? And he's the guy.
This is what I don't like though. Like people in the fantasy community are like Cade Horton is a lot closer to Nick Lodolo, when in reality he's a lot closer to Parker Messick.
Yep,
that is for like
the back.
Yeah, that's. I think I agree with your mom. Like I think like Cade Horton is fine, but I think he's like a 3.8 to 4 ERA guy who can maybe give you some innings, some maybe average at peak ratios. I don't think he's ever going to be an elite ratio guy. I feel like I think he's going to be a good real life pitcher, but for fantasy, that's just not someone I want.
Well,
even like Chicago's a fine place to
rate.
pitch. Yeah, it's not good. That's
so
not
here's the deal, guys. I'm just gonna say it once, you can have your feast after that. But so you have Parker Messick, who gave like a bad whip and whatever. He's only 39 innings he pitched. It was fine. Like he was fine. He was solid. I don't think I'm gonna say a rip on him, but over 100. He gave us 118 major league innings last year. At the end of the day, I know that the metrics don't hate him, by the way, but 2.67 ERA and 1.08 whip, like as a 23-year-old. Is pretty impressive, and like there's ways he could also improve, right? Being such a young age, the metrics again don't totally hate him. I think this is a guy who might be able to get it done. It's probably not where he's going to settle in at, but if he's like a 3.30 ERA, 3.50 ERA, even
not happening.
Okay, well,
not
I think it's going to happen, so I'm drafting him.
The Cubs just generate these guys all the time that like they just defeat the metrics. It's like Kyle Hendricks, Justin Steele. It's just like
yeah.
They're just going to keep the conga line of metric defeating pitchers rolling. So
I'm getting more into Horton the more you're saying.
Like, yeah, they must have really good ball boys, man. They have to have the best ball boys. Like whatever they're putting on those balls.
Like maybe it's just something with the medical staff, like something in the massages or something that they're doing with these guys that just like gets them in a groove,
Yeah. All right. So I'm keeping Nick Lodolo. I'm with you on that one, Owen. Lodolo is super underrated. 28 still. So I'm definitely keeping Lodolo. Like he's always had room for steps forward. Like his fastball slider combo is just so much fun. Like I love his slider. So Lodolo definitely is a keep for me. The next keep is going to be Cade Anderson. I'm Cade Anderson over Painter, guys. I saw Painter. His fastball, it was getting hit up by A-ballers. Easy. They're destroying his fastball. The breakers, to me, are okay. The breakers still look like kind of like classic Andrew Painter. But this spring, the fastball is not any better. The spin is not any better than it was last year thus far. So until he gets the fastball back, he's just, to me, he's like a number 3 starter. You know, he's not going to be a 1 or 2 unless he gets the fastball back.
So do you think that he's going to get that back? Do you think he's going to get it back?
How can anyone know?
Counter to that.
Is Strider going to get his fastball back?
Like
is Strider 6 foot or is he 6'7"?
I don't think that has anything to do with
spin.
That
has something to do with it.
Not spin.
I have a couple points I want to bring up here. So you mentioned Painter's fastball was getting crushed by A-ball hitters, but Cade Anderson is the same pitcher that the whole community is going to hype up and move up to like the top 10 when he's dominating low A as a college arm. Just putting that out there. And also like when Andrew Painter was like 19 in AAA, Cade Anderson wasn't even a day 1 draft prospect. So those are my 2 points right there. And I also think, like, you mentioned, like, Painter is probably a number 3. I think, like, Cade's upside is a very good number 2. And I think realistic outcome is a number 3 for him. So I don't think, like, there's saying, like, Painter looks like a 3 and that's, like, just in my opinion, that's a realistic outcome for a lot of pitching prospects. Like, there's so few that actually have, like, true number 1 upside and even fewer that have, like, true ace upside. And I really detest when people are like saying like, what's a good example of this? Like, I never liked it when people said like Jonah Tong had like ace upside. I know he's on there. I'm not saying that he's on there, but like his fastball was like really good. The rest of the arsenal just left so much to be desired. But I just feel like that term gets just thrown out so much with pitching prospects. It annoys me. I hate hearing like this A baller is going to be an ace.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I'm like anti-drafting your Johnny Kings in your top 50 or whatever, like some people do.
Okay, Johnny King is good. Johnny King is good.
Like, I've seen him too. I've seen all these guys. Johnny King is fine, but he's a high schooler.
Like, I will say this, like, I was in on Johnny King before, like, he became really popular. Him and, like, Mike Sirota were, like, 2 of my really big hits from the 24 class. I don't think Johnny King's a top 50 guy, but I think he's, like, absolutely a top, like, I think he's a top 75 guy, and just on this stuff alone. Like, there's some command, but I really think like realistically he could be like Reagan's is now if all goes right.
This is where I'm at on those young pitchers. The super young high school pitchers, there's a 30% chance they're going to get Tommy John, and then when they do, their value is going to tank, and then you can get them way lower than their current value. So there's a 1 in 3 shot that your value is going to go down on the pitcher. So if someone's stock like Johnny King is super high, right now is the best time to sell him. And then as soon as he gets Tommy John, then you rebuy him again if you like him that much. That's my move on it. But
I do actually agree with that to an extent. I'm just saying though, like I do the same thing with prospects. Like I don't have any Sirota shares anymore, like because I sold the hype. Like I got established big leaguers who maybe like Sirota could be at that level, but I'll take the established guy every single time. I'm just saying, like in general, I think people tend to have like these preconceived narratives around like high school arms that like when they do what Johnny King does, they're just so hesitant to like fairly rank these guys. Like I think when I see a top 100 without Johnny King on it, I just don't think it's a good top 100. Quite honestly, I think King is like, in my opinion, like a lock top 100 guy.
He's not in mine.
Your top 100 isn't good.
I got so things going for Cade Anderson that I like over Painter. Lefty, right? Stronger arsenal. Seattle Mariners, better pitching system, better ballpark that he's going to deal with.
You didn't just take Josh Hammond, Doc.
And he's 2 years. And he's 2 years younger. So, all right, Lodolo and Cade Anderson are my keeps. My drafts are Pepio, Tatsuya Imai. I'm going to play that game. And then the last draft is going to be between Flaherty and Framber. I think Flaherty's going to get more Ks, but I'm going to go Framber just because he's so much safer. So he's just going to have he's going to have a lower WHIP. He's going to have a lower ERA probably. Flaherty could have a good season. I was telling John the other day, I was like, he's in a contract year again. Probably actually wants to make money someday. Probably can save a lot of time by not doing all the union bull crap he does and just focus on pitching instead of doing all that stuff. So if he actually does that, then he could have a pretty good season coming. Any other notes on this tier before we go? I think we have time for one more. I had like 3 more tiers to roll, but I think we have time for one more tier here.
All right, let's do it.
No? All right, let's move into the next tier. Let's make sure I open the correct one. Tier 6. Yep, here it is. 16-man tier. Look at this. And it's not even a massacre, Doc. I had 3 massacres set up for this one. A triple massacre, triple homicide. I guess if it's a triple massacre, you're killing like way more than 3 people. But anyway, tier 6. Keep 3, draft 3, cut 10. Nick Pivetta, Reese Olson, Shane McClanahan, Drew Rasmussen, Grayson Rodriguez, Pablo Lopez, Liam Doyle, Nathan Evaldi, Tyler Glasnow, Michael King, Logan Henderson, Chris Bubich, Edward Cabrera, Shane Boz, Kevin Gaussman, and Carlos Rodon. That's right. I'm making you keep 3 of those people.
How about we try to do like rapid fire, like just machine gun takes, no context, basically.
Do it. Go, Doc. Go.
Maybe we can do more tiers.
Yeah, do it. Machine gun. Go.
Okay, me first?
Yes.
Keep Doyle.
All right.
Keep Michael King. Can't believe I'm saying that. Keep Bubich. Draft Reese Olson. No. Draft. Gosh, I can't believe it. Draft Glasnow. What the heck? Draft Gosman. Draft Eovaldi. And that's it.
All right. What are you doing, Owen?
Okay. There's probably going to be a lot of people in the comment section of this being like, "Why did he leave all these guys off?" But I'm gonna leave some of these guys off. So keeping, I agree with Doc. I'm keeping Liam Doyle. I'm also keeping Michael King, and then I'm gonna keep Shane Boz. My 3 that I'm gonna draft. I'm gonna draft Carlos Rodon. I'm gonna draft Kevin Gosman. And then that third one is where it gets tough. I will draft Tyler Glasnow at the right price, and then I will cut the rest.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to keep Shane Boz just like you.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that said that. I was getting a little worried I was going to be for a second.
Is we
Convinced. He's frozen again. He's got like a gator.
Shoot. Okay, hey, listeners, yeah.
He's got like a gator. He's got like a gator chewing on his power lines or something like that. It's like walking up his front porch.
Yeah, we're an hour deep. I mean, we'll let him come back in, but that's probably the good Lord Jesus Christ.
All right,
Tim, I think that might have been God telling us to end the podcast after your take here.
Yeah, my Starlink is like going crazy today.
That was us getting demonetized. It was our VPNs getting blown.
Yeah, exactly. You said Hitler just won too many times, Doc. So and Hitler Hitler cancer. So anyway, yes. I'm going to be
Robert Kraft saw it from his little command center.
I got one more for us. Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
Anyone got slurs?
Epstein. Yeah, Epstein killed himself, right? No. Liam Doyle is a keep. Definitely. Shane Boz is a keep. And last keep, I'm going to be a little crafty. I'm going to keep Pablo Lopez on the rebound.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, yeah, free. It depends. If you have an IL spot, that's the move.
That is disgusting. That is disgusting,
man. Or if he's an odd new 60 man, that's the move.
I mean, it's like, what are you banking on Pablo Lopez coming back to? Like last year, his stuff regressed like a lot. Like he's going to be, if there's a lockout next year, he's going to be 32 when he returns.
Now, got it. Let's be positive. All right, so I'm gonna draft Nick Pivetta, easy. I'm gonna draft Gaussman. So Gaussman and Pivetta, and then who's my last draft? It's gonna be Rasmussen. Those are my 3 drafts. So yeah, I'm gonna take Rasmussen over Evaldi, I guess. Well, actually, no, I'll take Evaldi. So it'll be Evaldi, Gaussman, and Pivetta is my drafts. So, all right, Doc, are you really done? Or you're gonna try to do one more?
We can do one more.
All right,
let's do one more.
All right, cool. Boom. Look at that. I had 3 massacres set up, but we're only gonna get to one of them. Massacre Uno, tier number 7.
Ooh.
You're going to keep 2 and draft 2 in this massacre. You got Jackson Wiggins, Tanner Bybee, Zebby Matthews, Harlan Susana, Sonny Gray, Braxton Ashcraft, Casey Mize, Gavin Williams, Luis Castillo, Ryan Weathers, Luis Morales, Shota Imanaga, Sandy Alcantara, Bryce Miller, Robbie Ray, Joe Musgrove, Corbin Burns, Gage Jump, Mike Burrows, Mick Abel, Didier Fuentes, Brody Hopkins. Keep 2, draft 2, gun down the rest.
Is this me or is Owen first?
Yeah. Go first.
I'll start it off.
I got mine very easily. So you go ahead, Owen.
I'll start it off. My first one for me is going to be Gavin Williams. That's my first keep right there. Second gets really. I think my second is going to be Brody Hopkins, and then draft. Give me Tanner Bybee, and then give me Tanner Bybee, and then give me Sandy, and then I will cut the rest.
All right, what are you doing, Doc?
Keeping Ryan, frontline ace Weathers, keeping Jackson Wiggins, and honestly, it was close between him and Hopkins, but gonna go with Wiggins, like the upside. Hopefully, the command can get there. Drafting Gavin Williams very easily. Drafting Robbie Ray very easily. There's 2 really good values, I think. I think everyone's kind of really just not appreciating Robbie Ray the way they could.
How dare you? How dare you poo-poo on my boy Sonny Gray? I'm drafting the easiest call in this whole tier is drafting Sonny Gray. In my opinion.
Sonny Gray,
47 years old,
with like a 90-mile-per-hour fastball too, and
Sonny
a
Gray
very extreme pull hitter friendly park.
Amazing sweeper.
I think Sonny Gray is fine. I just don't. I think if like people are expecting him to be like a number 2 at this point in his career at that park, they're going to be disappointed.
I think he'll be solid. I think he'll be a top 40 starter this year. So
I think it's a fine 3, but I think Gavin Williams is going to be substantially better.
I just don't trust Gavin Williams. His command is awful. So I'm going to draft Sonny Gray, and I'm going to draft Tanner Bybee. And then I'm going to be keeping Jackson Wiggins and Harlan Susana, my boy. Harlan Susana is like one of my favorite pitchers right now. This dude was so good at the end of the year. I love Harlan Susana. So,
Gavin Williams' command is horrible, but Harlan Susana, he's one of my boys. I'm going to keep him.
Harlan Susana, I've talked about. We'll talk about it when we pod, because he's one of the prospects we're going to be talking about, Owen. But we'll get into it then. But he was much better second half of the year. Command getting better. Like
what is this dictatorship? Do I get to submit any prospects we can talk about?
Of course.
I'm kidding.
Of course, you could tell me if my guys are way off base. Doc will do it from time to time, but I think Doc and I have a good synergy going now. Doc and we hung out in person, and ever since then, we're like very simpatico on a lot of dudes.
Oh yeah, but you guys, I let you know when your rankings are bad. Like Logan Webb is horrific, but you know.
Yeah, I honestly kind of agree with that.
Not redraft.
29 years old.
And I mean, you said too, like, you know, Sheehan is like probably the worst of that tier, but he's like better than all the other guys in the next. And I'm like, it took me 5 seconds to find like 4 guys better than a minimum.
Says you. I love Sheehan.
I like Sheehan too. I'm just saying he's not better than Hunter Green, George Kirby, Jesus Luzardo, and who was the 4th? I don't remember.
He's better than Hunter Green now.
Well, yeah, because one of them's out until July.
All right, that's the podcast. Make sure you all subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse. Make sure that when you subscribe, you tell John that you signed up because of Doc, Tim, and Owen, so we can all get money from John. If you don't do that, then John keeps all the money, like the rich guys and whatever paper coming out. Robot and
there you go.
That turned into a Joe Biden press conference there for a second. But please, I need more. I need more bottles like this from my nice little collection. Waterlongs and vodka lemonades don't pay for themselves, so help a guy out.
All right. Hashtag Hitler cancer.
Big Data Warehouse. Yeah, we bring the spree. Prospects, DFS, betting strategy. John's grumpy, Tim scouted like a man possessed. Doc drafting comeback stories better than the rest. But the tools are elite and the content's free. And your fantasy trophy gonna look prestigious.